Hello students, I am Seetu Jaiswal, Assistant Teacher from Government Inter College, Chamrauli, Unnao. I welcome you in this class of English. Today we are going to read a poem from your English book Beehive. The name of this poem is Wind, which is composed by Subramania Bharati in Tamil. A.K. Ramanujan has translated this poem into English. Students, in today's class, you will know about the poet of this poem. You will be able to appreciate the poem. You will be able to understand the thought and imagination contained in the poem. We will appreciate the rhyme and style of the poem, and this class will help you to develop your aesthetic sense. Students, let's know about the poet. Chinnaswamy Subramania Bharati was a Tamil writer, poet, journalist, Indian independence activist, social reformer and a polyglot. Polyglot means a person who knows and is able to use several languages. Popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. Great poet Bharati, he was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all time. Students, because Subramania Bharati was an activist, the main themes in his poetry were patriotism and nationalism. Students, as the name suggests, this poem is about wind. We love and enjoy the breezy weather when the wind blows softly. But what happens when the wind turns violent, when the winds become loud and strong? Yes, students, in this poem, the poet has focused on the violent aspects of the wind that causes heavy destruction. He has linked the destructive power of wind to the adversities of life and says that the weak people break down, but stronger people come out of adversities stronger. He therefore suggests the reader be strong both physically and mentally. Students, now I will read the poem. You also read along with me. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So, come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Students, now I will analyze this poem line by line. Wind comes softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. Students, here the poet has described the actions of the wind. Here, shutters means a wooden or metal cover that is fixed outside a window. Scatter means to drop or throw things loosely. Students, the poet says that wind is loud and strong. So he asks the wind to come softly. He requests the wind not to break the shutters of the windows, not to scatter the papers, not to throw down the books on the shelf. Students, here are the comprehension questions. To whom is the poet asking to come softly? The poet is asking wind to come softly. What does the poet request the wind not to do? The poet requests the wind not to break the protective panels of the windows, not to scatter the papers, and not to throw down the books which are kept on the shelf. Students, see the next lines. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Students, here, tore means pulled apart. Poking fun means making fun or laughing at. Weaklings means weak person or things. Students, here the poet says that the wind does not listen to him. As it is a natural phenomena, it does not listen to anybody. It is uncontrolled, so it creates all the destruction. It has thrown all the things down. It has torn the pages of the books. The poet accuses wind of bringing rain again. In the last line, poet says that wind is very clever because it makes fun of weak person and weak things. Students, write about any two destructive activities of the wind. Two destructive activities of the wind are: it has pulled apart the pages of the books. It has brought heavy rain. See the next lines. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Students, here frail means weak or feeble. Winnow means to remove chaff from the grain. Crumbling means falling apart into small fragments. Students, in the first 4 lines, the poet has repeated the word crumbling many times to lay stress that the wind crushes everything. It crushes everything that is weak. The wind crushes weak houses, weak doors, weak rafters, which means the beam on which the roof of the buildings are supported. It crushes wooden things. Students, the wind crushes not only the non-living things but also living things. It crushes human bodies, it crushes human lives, it crushes even their hearts too. In the last line, the wind god winnows and crushes them all. In this line, poet says that the wind god winnows. Winnowing is the process through which the chaff is removed from the grain. Students, in this picture, you are seeing that these people are winnowing, means they are removing husk from the grain. Students, similarly, in the same way, the wind god winnows, means it separates weak people, weak things from the stronger ones and crushes the weaker ones. Why are the houses, doors, rafters, etc. crumbling? The houses, doors, rafters, etc. are crumbling because they are weak. What does the wind god do? The wind god winnows and separates weak people and things from the stronger ones. See the next lines. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Students, here firm means strong. Steadfast means fixed or steady. What does he stand for? He stands for the wind. He won't do what you tell him. What does it mean? It means that the wind does not follow our commands. So, in these lines, the poet addresses the audience, the readers, that we should make ourselves prepared. We should do preparations so that we can face the wind, so that we can face the adversities, the challenges in our life. What should we do? We should make our home strong. We should join the doors firmly, and we should strengthen our body and mind. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Students, here roar means to make a loud deep sound. Flourish means grow. What does this stand for? This stands for the strengthening of buildings, bodies and human hearts. What is the impact of the wind on weak fires and strong fires? The wind blows out the weak fires, but makes the strong fires loud and flourish. Students, in these lines, the poet says that with the strengthening of body and mind, with all the preparations, we can make the wind, we can make the problems our friend. And he says that the wind puts off the weak fires, but it makes the strong fires more strong. In the same way, the problems and difficulties weaken and destroy the people who are not physically fit and mentally strong. But the people who are strong, they flourish and grow to become more strong. So the poet says that the friendship with the wind, with the hardships is good because they gives us the opportunity. They give us the opportunity to become strong. They give us a lesson that we should make ourselves strong so that we can face all the hardships, all the storms in our life. Students, here are the appreciation questions. Why does the poet plead with the wind to blow softly? When the wind blows softly, it is harmless and enjoyable, but when it blows fiercely, it creates havoc, means destruction, damage. Therefore, the poet wants the wind to be gentle and soft. How does the wind make fun of the weaklings? The strong wind uses its destructive power to harm weak person and delicate things. It crushes weak houses, doors and even human lives and hearts. By moving violently and destroying the weak, it seems to make fun of their helplessness. What does the poet mean by the phrase, the wind God winnows? The poet says that the wind God winnows, that means wind sifts all the people and those who are weak get crushed and fall down. What does the wind symbolize in the poem? The wind symbolizes difficulties and challenges in this poem. Why does the poet remark that the friendship of wind is good? The friendship of wind, that means difficulties and adversities, is good because it makes us strong both physically and mentally. Whom does the poet praise and why? The poet guides us to praise the wind every day. This is because the wind is like a good friend who makes us strong to fight. Students, now we will discuss about the poetic devices the poet has used in this poem. Students, poetic devices are the techniques the poet uses to make the poem beautiful and impactful. Let's see these devices. The first device is anaphor. When a word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines, this device is used. Here in these lines, we see that the word don't is repeated at the start of line number 2, 3 and 4 in the poem, and the word you is repeated at the start of line number 6, 7 and 8 in the poem. So here the poet has used anaphor device. Moving to the next device, personification. When the poet associates human qualities to some inanimate object, to abstract idea or a natural phenomena, this is called personification. In this poem, we see that in these lines, you tore the pages of the books. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. We see that the pronoun you refers to the wind. The poet addresses wind as if it were a person. Students, symbolism. Next device the poet has used in this poem is symbolism. Symbolism, when a thing refers to some other things, there is symbolism device. In this poem, the poet has used wind as a symbol for the problems in our life. It refers to the challenges in our life. Students, alliteration, which means repetition of consonant sounds. Students, we see that in the lines, the wind God we knows and the wind will be friends with us. In these lines, there is the repetition of consonant sounds V. Rhyming scheme. Students, there is no rhyming scheme in this poem. It is written in free verse. Free verse means when there is no rhyming scheme or any musical pattern. It follows the rhythm of a natural speech. Students, let's sum up. The poet has described the power of wind on nature and human life. The wind can easily break window panes when it blows strongly. The books from shelf fall down and wind tears apart the pages. It seems like wind enjoys its power and laughs at weaker things. Doors, woods and even hearts are not safe from its strength. But the poet realizes that wind is a natural phenomena. We should make ourselves strong so that we can save us from its destructive power. We should make ourselves strong so that we can face the wind. Thus, we can also survive through the hardships of life. Students, here are the keywords. We will recall the lines where these words appear. Softly, wind come softly. Shutters, don't break the shutters of the windows. Scatter, don't scatter the papers. Clever, you're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Crumbling, the poet has repeated this word many times in this poem, like crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. Firm, practice to firm the body. Flourish, he makes strong fires roar and flourish. Winnows, the wind god winnows and crushes them all. Students, here is the recapitulation work. We will complete these lines from the poem. Let's do it. Wind come. What will come here? Wind come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the, what will come here? Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the blank space on the shelf. Students, what will come here? Don't throw down the books on the shelf. See the next line. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. And last line, you brought, yes, the poet accuses wind of bringing what? Of bringing rain again. The students, this is the recapitulation work. Moving to the next. Now, I will do the recitation of the poem once again. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. The students, this is the poem Wind. Now, here is homework for you to do at home. You students, please note down it. Learn 4 lines of the poem Wind. Write down the central idea of the poem. The students, this is the poem Wind composed by Subramanya Bharati in Tamil, and this poem is translated into English by A.K. Ramanujan. In this poem, the poet has described the violent actions of the wind, and he also gives us a strong message through this poem that we should make ourselves physically fit and mentally strong so that we can face all the hurdles, all the obstacles, all the challenges in our life with all the strength and determination. I hope all of you have enjoyed this class. Thank you very much.